Hi friends, myself Subrata Mukherjee and you are watching my channel Dr. Subrata Mukherjee Distance Learning in Commerce. Today I am going to discuss another problem on self-balancing and section balancing system. This is lecture number 8 and you can find the other lectures in the playlist section of the channel. From the following information, prepare general ledger adjustment account in the debtors ledger of Mr. S. On 1st January 2020, debtors ledger balance debit 11,000 and provision for doubtful debt rupees 2,000. Transactions during the year 2020. Sales including cash sales rupees 4,000. So the total sales is rupees 40,000. Cash received from customers rupees 17,500. Bills receivable received rupees 4,000. Returns from customers rupees 400. Bills endorsed rupees 700, bills dishonored rupees 400, checks dishonored rupees 200, bills receivable as endorsed dishonored rupees 150, bills receivable discounted rupees 600, bad debt written off rupees 80, interest charged to customer rupees 30, bad debt previously written off recovered rupees 60, transferred from bought ledger rupees 100, sundry charges debited to customers rupees 30. Here I have prepared the structure of general ledger adjustment account as would appear in the debtor ledger. So I have prepared the following columns: on the debit side date particulars rupees and on the credit side date particulars and rupees. So now I am going to record the transactions given in the question. I would like to request to see the transaction how I am recording here carefully, as I am preparing the general ledger adjustment account in debtor ledger, so the transactions to be posted very carefully. So first I have to post the opening balance of debtor. So here I have to write on 1st January 2020 by balance BD, and the opening amount is 11,000. And next is given that the provision for doubtful debt is 2,000. So this transaction is not to be recorded as it has no place in the debtor ledger. Next, the sales. The total sales given is rupees 40,000, cash sale 4,000. So the balance amount 36,000 is the amount of credit sales. So on the credit side, I have to write like this: on 31st December 20 by debtor ledger adjustment account. And the amount of credit sales is 36,000. So you need to deduct 4,000 from 40,000, 4,000 being the cash sales and 40,000 is the total sales. The next transaction is cash receipt from customer. So your journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account. So I have to write here as to debtor ledger adjustment account. And the amount is for cash collection from debtors. 17,500. Next is bills receivable received. So bills receivable is going to reduce the amount of debtor, and the journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account, and the purpose is for bills receivable received rupees 4,000. Next is return from customer, that is sales return. So I have to write here sales return. Your journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account, and the amount is 400 rupees. Next is bill endorsed. So bill endorsed means you are giving the bills to the creditor and it has no place in the debtor ledger. So we are not going to record the amount of bill endorsed. Next is bill dishonored. So the journal entry is debtor ledger adjustment account debit to general ledger adjustment account, and this is for BR dishonored. And the amount is 400. Then check dishonored. So similar transaction. So I have to write here check dishonored, rupees 200. Next is bill receivable as endorsed dishonored, rupees 150. So the amount of a bill endorsed was rupees 700, and out of that figure 150 get dishonored. So your creditor balance will increase as well as the debtor balance, and I have to give effect regarding the bill dishonored. So I have to write here bill receivable endorsed dishonored for your understanding, and the amount is 150. Next is bills receivable discounted. So I'm not going to record this transaction. We have to ignore it. Next is bad debt written off. So your journal entry is general ledger adjustment account debit to debtor ledger adjustment account, and the amount is for bad debt, rupees 80. Next is interest charged to customer. So interest charge will increase the amount of debtor. So here on the credit side I am writing interest charged, rupees 30. Next item is bad debt previously written off recovered, rupees 60. The journal entry for this transaction is cash account debit to PL, and I have to ignore it because it has no place in the debtor ledger. Next is transferred from bought ledger, rupees 100. So this figure is going to reduce the creditor balance as well as the debtor balance. So there is a set off between the debtor and creditor, and I have to record here as transfer, rupees 100. And the last transaction is sundry charges debited to customer. So on the credit side I have to write sundry charges, rupees 30. Please see that the transactions that I am recording on the credit side are increasing the amount of debtor as I am preparing the general ledger adjustment account in debtor ledger. And on the items that I have recorded on the debit side, these items is going to reduce the amount of debtor. So please note the transactions carefully while recording. Now I am going to find the closing balance of debtor. So the total of the credit side is 47,810. So I am writing here on the debit side also 47,810. And the balance as on 31st December 2020 is rupees 25,730. Hope all the students have recorded the questions with solution and have tried to follow the process that I have adopted here to solve the problem. In spite of this, if you find any difficulty in understanding, feel free to communicate with me through email and the contact number given in the description box. Thank you. Thanks for watching the lecture.